Travel reminds us that there is more to see beyond our commute. Other people, places, and experiences that are unavailable where we call home. It's nice to have a shop, but the true test of a project vehicle is if it can take you somewhere, then bring you safely home to prepare for the next journey. This weekend is a brief escape from a busy season that will test 2 projects as we travel to the Concours de Le Mans car show before spending a day riding at Daytona's Bike Week. Daily stresses fade away as soon as they are allowed to go, and the experience of traveling in an old vehicle fills the void. Listening and solving needs early pays off, including the simple things. Stop by the store, grab a few last-minute supplies, and then about 3 hours of driving. I like snacks too, so after a quick loop around the store to gather a few staples, it's back on the road. The song of a big block V8 provides background music for my thoughts, with Tig offering occasional bits of conversation. There is mutual agreement that going for a ride is fun. This ride takes us over the bridge in Jacksonville, Florida, and through a few roundabouts near the destination. It's a nice area that looks like it'll be quiet tonight. The drive has gone well and the trip has officially begun. Tonight we'll be dry camping in a spot scoped out on satellite view that is a few steps away from the car show happening tomorrow morning. There's not much to do now but get a good night's rest, so the day ends with wondering what tomorrow will bring. Good morning. I'm not really made for mornings. I'm gonna get some breakfast, get woke up, and today I'm gonna be at a car show. So there's a Concours de something, I don't know, some fancy car show. Earlier I heard a car that was spitting and the driver was revving and just trying to keep the thing running. I'm like, what piece of junk is this? And I look out there at some kind of supercar. So there's, I guess, some kind of a race going on and a big fancy car show. That's not the one I'm at. That's not what this is gonna be. But kind of neat. I've got a spot now. They're kind of tucking me in the back. We'll see how it goes. This ought to be a funny day. According to their website, the Concours de Le Mans celebrates the oddball, mundane, and truly awful of the automotive world. The show is run by this guy who calls himself the head gasket of the organization. He seemed genuinely thrilled to have a Chevy Vega in attendance, which I take as a sign of sincerity, if not a little odd, but who am I to judge? I'm pretty sure the Chevy Vega is the station wagon that you see in Spaceship Earth at Epcot. Fun fact, it's supposed to be junky cars and forgotten cars and so on. You can't go wrong with one of these. Over here is actually an Edsel, a beautiful representation of an Edsel, which at the time was a bomb, but it's actually a pretty cool car. Who didn't know somebody that had a Saturn at some point? Looks like they didn't finish this one. So here's the crappiest Ferrari you'll ever see. It's another one of our rear-engine brethren. So here we are representing the VW folks. What a lot of you have been waiting for. There's an early bay. Well, it's about half of an early bay. A couple of Porsches here today. I'm pretty sure I saw this red one smoking, so that's its credentials. So when I was in high school, I had a 1980 Datsun. This is a 75, but not too far from what I was driving. I crashed it, ended up with an 81 Datsun. I crashed it. I ended up with a 92 Nissan. Somebody crashed into me. I got a 95 Nissan. I was able to sell that without a crash involved. Quit while I was ahead, and I haven't had a Nissan since. This is my view hanging out by the camper while everybody kind of cruises around and looks at all the crappy cars. It's funny to hear what people are talking about. Some folks were talking about those silly seat belts that the shoulder strap would automatically run up the door frame. The focus of this show is junky cars, like the cars that were oddball or forgotten or just poor designs, and we've all had those. We've all got an experience with a bad car, probably more than one. But now we're all laughing about it, right? We're looking back at those stupid seat belts and yeah, you know, they'd hang you and it's in the past and it's kind of fun. Who would have ever thought that we would have had an opportunity to enjoy bad cars? Of course, they're awful when you're a car because that's your daily driver and you're stuck with it. But once it's over, maybe you can look back and laugh a little bit. And it seems like that's kind of the vibe of this car show, which I'm really enjoying. I like my RV and everything, but there's things about it that are laughable, and so we get to play along and be a part of it here. It's been a good day so far. So I'm here with Alan, who is the head gasket of the Concours de Lemons car show. He's been berating me all day for my terrible choice in RV.
We saw this and said, you know, hey, this guy's got to be single. And turns out that's true. But we did give him, what award did we give you?
I got the best backseat award. Seems fitting.
Well, thank you so much for bringing this out. That's a very unique vehicle, and I use that word unique in the best of sense.
Well, thank you. I was really pleased to find the show. I think it's a brilliant idea, where people were talking about those ridiculous seat belts that kind of hang you, right? So people were sharing their stories of crappy cars, but laughing about it, right?
Exactly, and that's what we want. We want you to have fun with your car. I mean, it doesn't have to be serious. You don't have to have a multi-million-dollar car. You can have a multi-dollar car. As long as you're having fun with it, that's what we're trying to do. And if you can tell a story that makes other people smile, we've done our job.
That's cool. More people will show up in future ones. Some of these get really big, from what I've seen.
We have our show in California. We get about 150 cars. We get several thousand people show up over the course of the day. It's a lot of fun. Our Detroit show is big. Our Australia show is pretty big. Wow. Here's our first year, but I guarantee you it's going to be twice as big next year.
I think it will be.
Yeah. We've been doing the Concours de Lemons for a little over a decade. We're just that stupid. Wow. We just keep doing this over and over and over again. And it gets bigger and dumber every year, just like me.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now there's some other events too, other than the car show.
We do, Concours de Lemons is associated with the 24 Hours of Lemons, which is a 24-hour race in a $500 car. And it's just good, clean fun. You go find, it's a cheap way to go racing. You find some junker, there's some safety requirements. You have to put a roll cage in it. You have to have some safety stuff. But it's a lot cheaper than, you know, going spec Miata racing or something like that. You can get out there in just a horrible car, and it's fun for automotive people because, you know, if the thing burns to the ground,
not out anything.
So what?
Good, clean fun for the rest of us, right?
Indeed.
That's great. Now, I found y'all on Facebook. Where should people look for you?
They can go to Facebook. We're there. You can also go to the ConcoursDesLemons.com. If that's hard to spell, go to 24hoursoflemons.com. That'll take you to the same place.
I think that's the one that I went to.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate the event and for spending a little bit of time with me.
Certainly, and be careful driving that thing home.
I'll certainly try. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Take care. There's some fancy dancy cars around here right now. But this drive ought to be kind of nice. We're going to go down the coast a little bit. So we're coming up to a roundabout here stateside. We call them traffic circles. Whatever. They're awesome. The only rule is the people in the circle have the right of way. So you yield to the people in the circle, and then you leave it when you're done. And that's all there is to it. Get to see a little bit of water today. Love it. In line for the ferry here. I think it's going to be a while, maybe 40 minutes or so. But the advantages of doing this when there's a bunch of car shows is you have interesting vehicles to look at while you're waiting in line. Let's take a look around. do you see two of these together? Beautiful car. That's my ride. We're going to get all these cars off first, and then I think they'll be loading the lane that I'm in next. We'll go across the whatever this body of water is on the ferry. Let's see where they want to line me up. Straight ahead, they say. Cool. Looks like we can kind of get out and peruse. Fellow V-dubber over there that likes the RV. So we're on the ferry now, and I've got to pay up. It's 20 bucks for an RV, which that's a big thing. It's heavy, I get it. Yes. You too, thank you. Short ride. We're almost there. Check this out. Momentarily here we'll be getting off the ferry and going down A1A. Love this road. You're a happy dog. You're a happy dog. You like going places. I think so. Okay. Got the Citroen cranking up. Seeing more motorcycles. I didn't mean to do this, but I ended up in a really ritzy neighborhood that must be umpteen million dollars to have a mailbox. It's hard to tell from here, but I'm actually 1 acre away from the beach. I probably wasn't supposed to come down this way, but I'm here. So. We're gonna see the water at some point. Blown it a little bit. My intent was to drive on the coast. And really what I'm doing is driving by the property that is on the coast. This is cool. I'll enjoy this drive just as it is. Right, Betty? We did it. That's the Atlantic Ocean from the road. Never gets old. I don't know why. There you go. I could think of less interesting places to be in a backup. ALBIS here at Faver-Dykes Park. So I'm on my way to Tomoka, which isn't too far away, but I do need to make a stop if I can find a store. This is 11 o'clock right now. This is checkout time. My check-in time is not until 3, so hopefully I can get in there a little bit early and get some riding in. That's the goal today, is to do a little bit of riding on the bike, do the loop, go through Main Street, and then I kind of need to button things up because I have to go back to work tomorrow. So I'll be staying tonight at Tomoka, but first thing in the morning, leaving and going back to work to rejoin reality. So this should be a pretty cool day. So found a Wally World. Got the stuff I needed. I think I'm ready to get back on the road and go down to the campground. Checked in a couple hours early, which is really nice. So I'll get the dog all set up, get the AC running because the temperatures are coming up now. Get the bike unloaded and then do some riding this afternoon. This is going to be good. I'm going to have to make the most of it because I don't know how long. Alright, so I got to squeeze into this spot. No problem. 12 hours from now, I'll be on my way back to work. And if you're wondering about the Beetle project, it's still going on, and there'll be more installments of that series coming up soon too. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.